Hi friends, my name is Victoria and I'm a mindful movement teacher. Today I have an all levels flow that is going to be a little bit longer and it's going to be a little bit more hatha than vinyasa, meaning that we're going to be holding postures for a little bit longer, about 5 to 6 rounds of breath each. We are going to be working towards our bound standing split, which I know sounds very intense, but I promise it's not. We're just going to be playing around here on our mats today. I will be demoing how to use blocks, and if you have a strap, I do suggest maybe having one around your space. We are going to be playing around with our extended hand to big toe pose. So if you know that you're going to want that, maybe just have it around. Of course, if you don't have these props, you can just use any household items that are going to serve the same purpose. I won't be playing any music in the background, so up to you if you want to play any or if you just want to let this be a silent practice. And then as always, if you need to adjust anything, right? If you need any variations, any modifications, take them. You know your body better than I do, right? So really just taking this however you see fit. We're gonna get right into it. We'll go ahead and set up in a down dog by finding our high plank position. So spread your fingers really wide and then step your toes back in space. Ensure that your shoulders are stacked right on top of the wrist. Heels are right on top of the ball mounds of your feet. Lengthening through the crown of your head, squeezing the glutes. Just stay for the inhale. Settle on the exhale. One more inhale. Press your hands against the floor, lifting the chest 1 more inch. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift your hips up and back. And just breathe here. Maybe you start to pedal into the feet by bending one knee and then the other. Maybe you shake the head side to side, shake the hips side to side. Right, finding any movements that feel really good here. Maybe you start to bend the knees of the tailbone and then drop the heels, straighten the legs. I'm just spending about a breath or two here. Making sure pinky finger is really far away from the thumb and vice versa. And then as you start to find stillness, soft in the back of the neck, press the knuckles of your fingers down to lift the tailbone a little bit more, keeping a soft bend in the knees. On your next inhale, slowly rolling forward to a high plank position. Gaze is the last to lift. And then exhale, down dog, lift the hips up and back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll forward to your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, forward high plank. Exhale, down dog. Bring your big toes and heels together to touch. As you inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees. Exhale, drop the heels to the right edge of your mat. Find a really nice opening to the left side body here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the heels to the left. We'll do that again on both sides. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the heels to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the heels to the left. Inhale, back to center. Lift the heels, lift, lift, lift. Exhale to let them melt down towards the floor, drawing the chest closer towards the thighs. And then from here, gently, slowly walk your hands to the back edge of your mat towards your feet. Set up in your standing forward fold. So feet should be hips width distance apart. Find a really deep bend in the knees, let the head and neck drop. And then maybe you grab opposite elbows, shaking the torso, shaking the head, the hips. Let the body hang really heavy like a rag doll. And then if you grabbed opposite elbows, switch the grip. Beautiful. And from here, just drop your fingertips down to the mat. Keep your left fingertips on the mat. Bend the left knee, right leg lengthens. Inhale, right fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Seeing if you can stay light on this bottom hand. Lifting up for 1 more inhale. Exhale, switch it out. Release the right fingers, bend the right knee. Inhale, left fingertips sweep up to the ceiling. Feeling a really nice opening through the outside of the thigh, the hip. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release, let it go. And then from here, walk your hands back to the top edge of your mat. From your high plank, just slowly lowering down for 4. Lower for 3. Lower for 2. Untuck the toes behind you. Oop, the mic is on the floor. From here, bring your hands under your shoulders. Make sure feet are either together or if you have a tender lower back, hips width distance apart. Squeeze the elbows by the rib cage. Inhale, low cobra, bhujangasana. Lift the chest. Breathe here. Keeping this very low. Press the top edges of the feet against the floor. Lift the kneecaps off the mat. Maybe the hands start to lift about an inch away from the floor, drawing the heels of your hands back towards the heels of your feet to open the chest even more. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the forehead. We'll do that twice more. Inhale to lift, low cobra. Exhale, release. One more inhale, low cobra, lift. Exhale, let it go. From here, tuck your toes behind you. Hands are still under your shoulders. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, drop knees, drop chest, drop chin. Inhale, low cobra once more. Slide the chest forward, untuck the toes, squeeze the elbows. And then exhale, tuck the toes, drop your hips towards your heels, and then find your down dog, straightening the legs. Just staying for the inhale. Settle on the exhale. And then walk your feet to the top of your mat this time, little by little, finding the same forward fold. We won't hold it this time. Just bend the knees really deeply, draw your chin to your chest, and then slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Really, really slowly. See if you can take your time. And then once you reach the top, maybe you roll your shoulders back, roll your shoulders forward. We'll do a little bit of vinyasa here, just finding our sun salutations to warm up the body, start to sync with our breath. So feet together or hips width distance apart. We'll start with our Surya Namaskar A in Tadasana mountain pose. See if you can spread the soles of your feet wide on the mat. As you root down through the heels, reach the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Arms are really strong here. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, hinge at your hips. Inhale, lift halfway, crown of your head reaches forward. Exhale, flow through your Vinyasa. Option for your Chaturanga, low cobra, or skip it. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Come back to your breath. See if you can be intentional about filling up the rib cage with every inhale, expanding the abdomen as you breathe in. And then exhale, letting the belly button melt back into place. See if you can draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then when you're ready, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, stand tall, reach high. Exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach high. Maybe you lift the gaze. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, gaze forward. Exhale, flow through your Vinyasa. See if you can take your time. Move with your breath here. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 3 rounds of breath. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. And lift the tailbone an inch higher, 1 more. And then when you're ready, lift the heels, soften the knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach high. Exhale, mountain Tadasana. Just 1 more for good measure. Inhale, lift the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, palms may touch. Exhale, release, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen spine, lift gaze. Exhale, flow through your Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Just 3 rounds of breath here. See if you can quiet the mind, still the body. And then when you're ready, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, lift gaze. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, Mountain Tadasana. We move on to Sun Sal B. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, release Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, lift gaze. Exhale, option to flow through your vinyasa or just skip it and meet me in down dog. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Right foot steps forward, drop the back heel. Inhale, Warrior One to rise. Exhale, option to flow or skip it. Again, take your time here. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left foot forward. This time, ground the right heel. Inhale to rise, Warrior One. Exhale, flow. Keeping the gaze forward as you lower. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. 3 rounds of breath. Noticing the quality of the breath. If it's gotten a little bit more shallow or choppy, see if you can make it really expansive again. One more. And from here, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, Mountain Tadasana. Just one more like that. We'll add a Warrior Two with a hold after the Warrior One. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, option to flow or skip it. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Listen for the change. Right foot forward. Drop the back heel. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Two to open. 5 rounds of breath here. See if you can actively root down to the blade of the left foot. Press the right knee to the right pinky toe edge. Relax the shoulders. Imagine you're pushing your hands against water. Arms are really strong. One more breath. Inhale, reverse warrior. Sweep the right arm up and overhead. Bend into your front even more. Exhale, option to flow through your vinyasa. Option to skip. Spiral the arms from the front foot and lower. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left side, left foot steps forward. This time, drop the back heel. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Two. A couple rounds of breath here. See if you can power through both legs. Imagine you're ripping the mat apart with your feet. Drishti, your point of focus, is up your front middle finger. One more breath. And then flip the left palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up, lift back. Exhale, flow or skip it. Elbows by the rib cage. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 rounds of breath. Just noticing how different we're already feeling. Maybe you have a little bit more space and heat in the body here, yeah? And then when you're ready, we'll start to move through our hatha flow here, taking our time. When you're ready, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, lift gaze. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the right. Hook left elbow outside of right knee and breathe here. Notice if the left knee is jutting forward, send the left crease back in space. Relax the shoulders, chin away from the chest. Just holding for 2 more rounds of breath. Maybe you sit the hips an inch lower. Beautiful. And then on your next inhale, chair, Utkatasana, back to center. Exhale, power lunge, left toe step back, reach the fingertips back. Just 3 rounds of breath here. Really lifting to the back heel. I want you to create a ray of energy. Find tension as you reach the crown of your head forward. Left heel reaches back. Inhale, high crescent to rise. Exhale, power lunge, hinge forward, reach back. Twice more. Inhale to rise. Exhale, power lunge. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach forward, and then listen for the change. Inhale to rise, high crescent. Exhale, warrior three. Use momentum. Launch into your right leg. Find your balance, right? You can always use the blocks here. Oof, sometimes, some days your balance is going to be very different from others. See if you can draw the inseam of your right leg forward. Power through your back heel. Let it shake a little bit. Let it tremble. One more breath. Beautiful. Gaze stays forward. Inhale, low lunge twist. Drop the left fingertips. Drop the left toes. Right arm reaches up for the ceiling. And then settle on the exhale. Keeping the back leg really strong. Stay light on your bottom hand as you open through the heart space. One more inhale. Twist a little bit deeper on the exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, release, low lunge, and then drop the back knee. Untuck the back toes. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Reach the arms up and overhead. Settle on the exhale. And then I give you an option, right? Maybe you just stay with the core challenge of lifting up and away from your hips. Or if you want to find a back bend, think about lifting up first, reaching up, and then exhale, starting to find that back bend as you drop the hips forward. Lift up first to go back second. 3 more rounds of breath. See if you can bring the biceps closer to the ears. And then carefully on your next inhale, lift back up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half split, extend your right leg. Maybe you draw your right heel 2 to 3 inches forward. Flexing through the right foot. Inhale, lengthen spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, hinge your torso. 5 rounds of breath here. Friends, you can always use blocks under the hands for a little more support. And then rather than trying to bring the nose to the knee, I want you to focus on lengthening the spine on the inhales and then hinging the torso from the hips on the exhale. One more here. Inhale to lift the gaze. Exhale, sit up for lizard. Bend the right knee. Bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. And then heel toe your right foot to the right edge of the mat here. You have the option, if you want something a little more intense, to draw the left knee an inch or 2 further back in space. Inhale to puff up through the chest, lengthen spine. Exhale, drop the forearms to blocks or the mat, up to you. Keep rooting down through the big toe edge of your right foot here, drawing right knee towards the right shoulder. Relax the shoulders. And just 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, slowly starting to lift the gaze. Exhale back to your low lunge. Move your blocks if you use them. Walk your foot back to the center. Frame the foot with the hands. And lift the back knee. Inhale to open the chest, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, standing split. Lift the left leg as you start to extend the right leg. Hinge the torso forward. Again, option for blocks under the hands, but wherever the hands are, start to walk them back to frame the right foot. Notice if you're opening through this left hip, right? See if you can bring all of your toes to face the floor. If you want a balanced challenge, maybe one hand wraps around the ankle, maybe both hands wrap around the ankle. Just 1 more breath. On your next inhale, lift the gaze, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold release. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it and meet me in down dog. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. We're going to do all of that on the other side. Just taking a deep breath in first to reset. Out through the nose, let it go. 1 more, deep inhale. Exhale, release. And then from here, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, lift gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Twist to the left this time. Right elbow hooks outside of the left knee. Again, look down at your knees. Send the right hip crease back in space. Using this top hand to push down, deepen the twist from right under the diaphragm. Just staying for 2 more rounds of breath. And then on your next inhale, chair pose back to center, sit low, reach high. Exhale, power lunge, right foot steps back this time. Fingertips reach for the back of your mat. See if you can ground down through the pinky toe edge of your right foot here, keeping the belly lifted away from the thigh to keep this quadricep really active. And then on your next inhale, high crescent, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward, reach back. 2 more like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale, power lunge. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, power lunge, and you know where we're headed here, right? Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior 3, launch into the left leg this time. And then just like our power lunge, see if you can find that tension. Reach the heel back in space, crown of the head forward. And then you can do whatever with the hands, right? Heart center, reach back on blocks, up to you. See if you can again spread the sole of the left foot to create a stronger foundation. 1 more inhale. Stay on the exhale. Gaze stays forward. Inhale, low lunge twist. Drop the right hands, drop the right foot. Left fingertips reach for the ceiling. And then just settle on the exhale. Pull the shoulders back in space. Again, rooting down to the pinky toe edge of the right foot here. 1 more breath. 1 more inhale, lift up 1 more inch. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. 1 more inhale. Exhale, low lunge, and then drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Hook the opposite thumbs this time. Inhale, Anjaneyasana to rise. Settle on the exhale. And then again, maybe this is where you stay. You stay with this core activation of just lifting up and out of the pelvic floor. Or you start to find your back bend, reaching up to go back, up to go back, up to go back for 3 rounds of breath. Maybe the head and neck drops. And then carefully using the core, inhale to lift back to center. Exhale, half split. Extend your left leg. Again, maybe you scooch your left heel an inch or 2 forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, hinge. And again, any props that you'd like to use, you can bring them in. Come back to your breath. Maybe the back of the neck starts to soften. 1 more. On your next inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, sit up for your lizard. Bend the left knee. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot and then heel toe left foot to the edge of your mat. Again, if you want something a little more intense, maybe you walk this right heel an inch or 2 back in space. Inhale, broaden through the shoulders, open the heart space. Exhale, drop down to your forearms. Like an option for blocks here. Also, always an option to stay on your hands, right? I want you to really listen to your body. Notice if you're letting the inner ankle of the left foot lift up. Again, bringing this left knee towards the left shoulder. Make the breath really soft and wide again. 2 more. Beautiful. And then from here on your next inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, back to your low lunge. Move the blocks if you use them. Untuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, lift the gaze, stretch out through the spine. Exhale, standing split. Lift the right leg, straighten the left. Letting the torso drape over the left leg here. Let your head and neck be heavy. And again, see if you can bring these hands even closer towards the foot. Right. Gaze can stay forward if you need help with the balance, or maybe you just start to let the head and neck drop. Again, maybe the hands wrap around the ankle. 1 more breath here. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, forward fold, release. gaze. Inhale, flat back gaze forward. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it and meet me in down dog. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Staying here for 3 to 4 rounds of breath. And then once you've gotten control of your breath again, keeping your left hand on the mat, start to reach your right hand down and across towards the left leg. You can either grab the back of the knee, ankle, or foot, whatever's accessible, and then start to bend the right elbow as you draw your sight under the left underarm, finding a slight twist here in the thoracic spine, using the bend in the elbow as leverage. Staying for 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then release back to center. We'll do that on the other side. Left arm reaches back, grab whatever is accessible, and then keeping the sturdy foundation here, start to bend the left elbow to open the heart under the right arm. Stay breathing here. Use the diaphragm. 1 more. Beautiful. And then release back to center. All right, from here, start to lift the heels, soften the knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird, lift the heels, reach the fingertips back. Breathe here. So imagine, again, tension, right? You're reaching the tailbone back, crown of your head forward. If your feet are together, really using the big toes and heels together to find leverage, balance. Inhale, chair, sit the hips, reach your arms overhead. And then exhale, drinking bird. Again, we'll do that just 1 more time. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. Now listen for the change. On your next inhale, drop the right heel, lift the left knee, sweep the fingertips up and overhead. Exhale, figure 4, across your left ankle over the right thigh. Sit the hips, hands to heart center. You want to stabilize the left knee here, so make sure you're flexing this left foot. And then the lower you sit, the easier it is to balance. All right, keeping the chest slightly open, close the rib cage. And just letting it shake a little bit, let it tremble. 1 more breath. And then listen closely. Here is where we're going to start to set up for extended hand to big toe pose. So if you know you're going to want your strap, you can grab that with your left hand, wrap it around the left foot. If not, wrap your left peace fingers around your left big toe, right hand to your right hip. Without thinking about it, on your next inhale, lift up, lift the left knee. Exhale. Start to extend this left leg just as much as you can, and then sweep it over towards the left side as you reach your right fingertips out. I know I'm a little crooked here because I'm trying to make this very demonstrating, right? Making sure you're not piking the hip up. If you fall out of it, you get back into it. And rather than just letting the leg hang, use the left quadricep to actively lift the leg. So 50% of the strength is in the leg, 50 is in the arm. Relax the shoulders. 1 more breath. And then from here, starting to sit up in your pyramid pose, sweep the left leg back in space, bring the hands to heart center. I know that looked very hard, but it wasn't that bad. Bringing your feet about hips-width distance apart. Back foot is at an angle. Stance is not too short, not too wide. And then with your hands, draw your left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pyramid pose. Let the head, neck, and torso fall. Again, blocks are here to bring the floor closer to you. And then use the back heel, left heel, to keep sending the right hip back, left hip forward. And let the head and neck be heavy. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, right hand to your right hip. Maybe you would like to bring a block under the left hand. We'll start to set up for a twist. So on the next inhale, lengthen spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, twist to the right, opening the heart space towards the right. Maybe you start to reach the right fingertips up to the ceiling. You can always ditch the block, or if you want something a little more intense, right hand drops to the outside, left hand rather, drops to the outside of the right foot. Pull the shoulders back, one more breath. One more inhale, lift up a little bit more. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, back to the low lunge. Just setting up your legs here, bend the right knee. Send the left foot a couple inches back. Plant the hands, inhale, three-legged down dog, lift the right leg back in space. Exhale, stack the hips, bend the right knee, drop the heel to your glute. And then friends, you have an option. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you flip your dog, find wild thing. Drop the heel, lift the hips, open through the heart center. Bring the palm to face down. Think about grounding down to lift up. One more breath. Inhale, three-legged down dog, kick back, lengthen. Exhale, flow through your Vinyasa. Option to keep the toes afloat or option to drop them, up to you. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Taking 2 to 3 rounds of breath to reset. Again, making sure face is relaxed, belly is relaxed, hands are really wide. And then you know where we're headed, right? Kind of know what to expect. So we're gonna flow through that on the other side. When you're ready, lift the heels, soften knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, lift gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. This time option to start straightening the legs for diver's pose. Open the heart space. Maybe you dial the fingertips, the pinky fingers in, palms face down. Twice more, inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, diver's pose or drinking bird. Let it shake. One more, inhale, chair. Exhale, divers or drinking bird. And then you know where we're headed here. Inhale, left heel drops, lift the right knee, fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, figure 4. Right ankle, rest on top of the left thigh. Flex this right foot. And again, the lower you sit, easier it is to balance a little bit deeper in the stretch here with the right glute, but that's okay. And then again, if you know you're gonna need your strap for extended hand to big toe pose, start to grab that with the right hand. If not, right peace fingers wrap around right big toe, left hand to your left hip. Inhale to lift the knees, stand tall. Exhale, start to straighten the right leg. Ooh, I have no space here. But starting to set up for Uddita Hasta Parangustasana. Right, and then maybe the left fingertips start to reach back. Keeping a slight bend in this left knee. Hips are even. Just one more breath. And then using the strength of your right leg, gently sweep the right leg back in space. Set up for pyramid. Hands to your hips, feet train tracks, back foot at an angle. With your hands, bring your left hip back, right hip forward. So left hip 9 o'clock, right hip 3 o'clock. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward, lengthen spine. Exhale, pyramid pose, release. Again, blocks are there at your disposal. And you can always keep a slight bend in the knees, right, if this feels a little safer. But I want you to see how far you can extend without overextending. Back heel is grounded. One more. Beautiful. And then from here, again, maybe you use a block under the right hand, left hand to the left hip. On your next inhale, twist to the left, open the heart space. And then exhale, maybe the left fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Again, maybe right hand stays on the block, or you ditch the block, you go on a higher setting, or if you want to deepen this, right hand outside of the left foot. Use your back heel. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. One more inhale, reach up a little bit more. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, back to your low lunge. Readjust your stance here. Bend the left knee. Inhale, three-legged down dog, left heel kicks back. Exhale, stack the hips, bend your left knee, drop your heel to your glute. And again, maybe you stay here. Maybe you flip your dog, find wild thing. Lift the hip points towards the ceiling. Reach back, back, back. Let the head and neck drop, opening to the throat chakra, heart chakra. Even a little bit of the sacral chakra here, right? The solar plexus. One more. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Left heel kicks back. Exhale, float through your vinyasa. Again, option to drop the toes or keep them lifted. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. And then from here, just take a child's pose. Drop to your knees, bring them really, really wide, and then walk your fingertips forward. If for any reason child's pose does not resonate with you, feel free to just take a seat instead or an early shavasana, any resting posture. But just taking a moment here to come back to your intention, come back to your breath. Notice where your mind goes when things get a little bit challenging, right? Notice what words you use with yourself. And if they're not really kind, if they're not nourishing, if they're not supportive, how can we change that? The way that you react to these postures here on your mat, in some way, in some shape or form, reflect the way that you react to circumstances in life. Except that these are not that detrimental, right? See if you can re-engage the diaphragm, breathing and expanding through the rib cage. And exhale, softening every muscle, every joint, every feature of the body. And then from here, just starting to lift the gaze, shift forward, find your down dog. Friends, we're gonna start to play with our bound standing split. And when I say play, I mean that very literally, right? It's not about the posture. None of this is a destination, right? There's no destination here. It's all about the journey, the transitions. I want you to savor every moment, every breath. On your next inhale, three-legged down dog, right heel kicks back in space. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Drop your back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Inhale, warrior two, spiral the arms open. Settle on the exhale. We've been here before, right? Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, right hand to the inside of the right leg or a block. Sweep the left arm up and overhead. Just stay here for a breath or two before we start to find or play around with our bind. So if you want a strap for the bind, I'll explain it. You're gonna grab the strap with your left hand, both palms face back. So you're internally rotating the shoulders. And then you're gonna create a little shelf with the right forearm bringing it under the leg. Bend the left elbow behind you, grab the strap. Not a thong, right? You wanna make sure it's mid-thigh, and then you can start to walk your hands closer to the strap. If you have the bind, start to reach for the fingertips, and then see if you can draw the left shoulder up towards the ceiling, open the heart space. Now start to gaze at the top edge of your mat. Heel toe your left foot closer to your right. And then see if you can really ground down through the right foot. Start to shift your weight into the right foot, lift the left heel. Maybe this is where you stay today. Maybe you start to play around with lifting that left leg. And I wish I could demo, right? Maybe a little bit, but it's kind of hard to balance and talk at the same time. But play around with lifting that left leg. And if you fall out of it, let yourself fall out of it. Let yourself shake a little bit, let yourself tremble. I'm gonna let you pause the video here if you wanna play around with that, right? Pause the video right here. And then when you're done playing, when you're done feeling it out on this right side, unpause it, we'll come back. So if you pause the video, or if you're unpaused rather, or if you're just done playing, you just find your way back to your down dog. No need to find a vinyasa unless you wanna take one. Calm down the breath, calm down the nervous system. You're still here, right? Hopefully you didn't get injured. And then we're gonna do that on the left side. We'll play around on the left side. Inhale, three-legged down dog, left heel sweeps back. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Back foot drops parallel to the short edge of your mat. Inhale, warrior two, spiral the arms open. Settle on the exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, a breath or two to set your shape up here. Find tension again. Right fingertips reach forward. Left heel reaches back. And then setting up for the bind, Both palms face back behind you. Internally rotate the shoulders. If you have your strap with your left hand this time, or right hand rather, bend the right elbow. So the strap, imagine it's hanging off here. And then bend the left elbow under the left leg, make a little shelf, mid-thigh here. And then you grab the strap or you find your bind. Open the chest up towards the ceiling. Lift your gaze or send your gaze in front of your left toes and then heel to the right foot closer to the left. Again, maybe this is it for today. Maybe this is where you're done playing. Maybe you play around with lifting the right heel, right pinky toe, right big toe. Maybe you play around with lifting that leg. You can let yourself fall. You're at home. No one's here to perceive you, right? Take your time. Again, if you want to pause the video, play around. Pause it right here. I'll be here when you're done. But I want you to let yourself explore, be curious, right? If not here, then where? And if not now, then when? So hopefully you've unpaused it now, you're done playing. Find your child's pose again when you're done. So knees wide, big toes to touch, arms really long. Know that you are safe here. Let the floor support you. You're done. Slow the breath down. If it's really choppy or shallow, make it soft and wide again. And then in your child's pose, find space between the fingers, space between the eyebrows, space between the ears and shoulders. Maybe you even bring your arms a little bit wider than shoulders width distance. Space between your top and bottom teeth, between the roof of your mouth and your tongue. Space in your chest, your belly, the back of your spine, hips, toes. Just stay for a couple more rounds of breath. Knowing that whatever you did today was more than enough. Knowing that there is nothing in this world that you could manifest that would make you inherently better or more valuable or more lovable than you already are in this very moment. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, you can lift your gaze. Just walk your hands back towards you. And then swivel your feet towards one side, setting up for your bound angle to open up the hips. So bring the soles of your feet together to touch, knees wide. Heels can come as far or close as you'd like. And then grab the inner edges of your feet. Inhale, sit up really tall. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Let the head and neck drop. If you want to intensify this, forearms can press against the shins to bring the knees closer to the floor. Just an option. Relax the shoulders. And from here, just gently fluttering the eyes open if you close them, lifting yourself back up gently. We'll find our way on our backs where we'll finish. Just keeping this gentle. Coming all the way onto your back, we'll find a bridge pose. And if you want to make this restorative, just grab a block. You can place it under the tailbone. Making sure that feet are hips width distance apart. Making sure you can graze your heels with your fingertips here. And then before you go anywhere, see if there's a lot of space between your mid-back and the floor. See if you can draw the tailbone down towards your heels, hip points up and forward towards your nose, so that you're minimizing the space here. You plug the middle of your back down. And then root down through the heels, lift the hips, find your bridge. Option to stay here, or if you want something a little more intense, you can just interlace the fingers under your tailbone, walk the shoulders in towards each other. Root down to the big toe edges of your feet. 2 more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, gently release. Upper back, middle back, lower back. We'll do one more like that. If you want to find your wheel, you can set up in your wheel. All right, so if you're gonna go in your bridge, start to set up for your bridge. If you want to go in your wheel, plant your hands right by the ears so the fingers are facing the opposite direction, so towards your heels, elbows facing up. And then start to root down through the heels, lift the lower back, middle back, upper back and head as you extend the arms. Focus here on rooting through the heels to shift the chest back. Let the head and neck drop. Again, rooting down through the big toe edges of your feet. Spread your toes wide, spread the fingers wide, lift away from the floor. One more breath. And then when you're ready, tuck your chin to your chest, start to bend the elbows, letting go of the top of the head, upper back, middle back, lower back, and then find some constructive rest. Bring your feet a little wider than hips width distance apart. Let the knees knock in towards each other. And then just letting your hands rest on your belly as you breathe in, letting the belly expand, let the hands rise up. And then exhale, let everything collapse back into place. And just stay here for a couple more rounds of breath. And then we'll find some hip rotations here. So feet stay a little wider than hips width distance apart. Let the knees knock down towards the left. See if you can keep the right shoulder grounded. And if you want something a little more intense, you can plant the left foot on top of the right knee. Right, this is gonna make this internal rotation of the right hip a little more intense. You can tee out the arms or cactus them. Just 3 rounds of breath. And when you're ready, if you move the left foot, just bring it back down, bring your feet flat on the mat again. And then now let the knees knock down towards the right. And if you did it on the other side, planting or placing rather the right foot on top of the left knee. And just 3 more rounds of breath. When you're ready, back to center, hug your knees in, and then just make circles side to side. Massage the lower back, middle back. We'll find a figure 4 here on the right side. So drop the left foot, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex the right foot. And then from here, maybe you stay, maybe you thread the right arm in, hug the left knee in. And if you want to intensify this, you can bring the left knee closer to the left shoulder. Keep the right foot flexed. Maybe you roll out the left ankle, one direction, and then the other. Give yourself one more tiny squeeze, and then switch it out. Drop the right foot, cross left ankle over the right thigh, flex the left foot for figure 4. And again, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you hug the right knee in. Let the body be heavy against the floor. Same as the other side. If you want to deepen this, start to draw the right knee towards the right shoulder. If you did it on the other side, roll out the right ankle. And switch directions, go the other way. Beautiful. And then from here, find a happy baby. Hug both of your knees in. Grab whatever is accessible. Blades of the feet, ankles, backs of the knees, rock side to side. Maybe you extend one leg and then the other. And then friends, feel free to take any other postures that you would like. If you want to pause the video and end here, or just pause it for a little bit and then join me back again for Shavasana. All right, if you need an inversion, if you need any other hip openers, heart openers, take a second, let yourself indulge. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back here in Shavasana. So staying on your back, if you are already there, letting the legs splay out, let the arms splay out. Just take up all the space that you can. Letting the body be so heavy. Let gravity pull you down towards the earth, little by little. Closing the eyes. Find space between the eyebrows. Space between your ears and cheeks. Space between the top and bottom teeth. Chin and chest, ears and shoulders, fingers, toes. Fully surrender here in Shavasana. Now friends, of course, you are welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. You can just end the video here if you'd like to finish in a longer extended Shavasana. But wherever you are, I just want to take a second to thank you so much for allowing me into your homes, for all the kind comments, for all of the love that you share. I feel it all the way over here. Thank you so much, and until next time, namaste.